Shazam! Fury of the Gods, as it's currently tracking with the worldwide box office, which of course includes the United States box office. Some people get confused with that. Worldwide means the entire world. International means outside the US. United States domestic means US. Some people seem confused, thinking that the United States exists outside of the world. Anyways, though, now that I've explained that, Shazam 2 is expected to be one of the biggest bombs of all time when it comes to comic book films. So according to box office experts and analysts, a bomb this big will not have happened since the 2000s comic book boom that saw the release of films like Elektra, Catwoman, and ended with the mega bombs of Jonah Hex and Green Lantern. Boy, that's some good company to keep yourself in, right? Yeah, according to analysts, this thing is going to be right up there with Morbius, possibly even worse. So what does this mean for Shazam? Well, the franchise is dead. Any way you look at it, this franchise is dead. There's no way they make a third film. There's absolutely no way. It would just be insane. It would be like, at that point, you might just say, they're probably laundering money through this, because that's the only explanation. Because there's no feasible way to get a Shazam 3 off the ground after the second film is performing this bad. At the same time, I'm seeing some analysts say that you could possibly be looking at a entire landscape shift for comic book films. Now, whether or not I believe that, I'm not sure just quite yet. It's going to take a lot more bombs to get to that point, especially considering the fact that Shazam is performing bad. Yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania didn't do the best in its box office run, but it still pulled more than most films in theaters. So I don't think we're at that point yet, but I understand what they're trying to get at. And Shazam 2, honestly, is going to be one of these things that I think WB and DC Studios, James Gunn, Peter Safran, are going to analyze hard. Because what happens with upcoming releases? The Flash might do really good on the Michael Keaton front, because that's everything everybody seems to be talking about from that film. And then Supergirl, and the last thing anybody wants to talk about is the Flash. But what happens with Blue Beetle? And what happens with Aquaman 2? Like, there's so many factors that go into this that I think, realistically, a year and a half from now, this is when we got to get back to this conversation. When we see the results of multiple MCU and DCU projects, or DCEU leftovers. And then we look at it. And then we analyze if there is a burnout, and is the comic boom or comic book movie boom, is it truly over? I think that's when we got to look at it. But for right now, I don't see it.